Okay, if you follow my channel, you would have definitely heard of Tom from Hilltop Machine. Works over in the USA. Tom's been a good supporter of my channel for a long time, and back in January Tom had a shop fire and he sustained some pretty good burns himself, first, second and third degrees. Him and Chaos, his Alsatian, are pretty lucky to get out of it. It could have been real bad. Like, it's bad enough as it is, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Tom released a video this morning explaining what happened, showing the workshop, and yeah, there's a fair bit of damage. So Tom's wife has set up a GoFundMe. Now, if you can't afford to donate, just go and watch his videos and just support him that way. So I know I was speaking to Tom on the phone this morning. I gave him a call and yeah, it's knocked him around a lot. So yeah, do what you can. Go and send your well wishes to him, and if you can help out with donating, well, that's really good. So the YouTube community is really strong in that way, and yeah, we all sort of need to dig in and have a good look at our own workshops. It can happen pretty darn easy, and I know when Cliff from over in England lost his workshop, I know I changed a lot of things I do in here. Yeah, so just have a good look, especially if your workshop's connected to your house. Yeah, that can be, yeah, you don't just lose your workshop, you lose everything. So have a good look around, see what you can do to improve your place, and yeah, take a bit more caution. So I know Tom was very cautious of how he kept his workshop when he built the workshop, which took him bloody 18 months to build it, and he'd only been in it for 18 months. I know when he built it, like, he took fire into consideration, and he had everything in the right spot. Automatic fire extinguishers, the whole works and jerks, which is what saved the place really, and saved him. So anyway, go and send him a bit of support, and do what you can do. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, and welcome back. A bit of an update on the crane. It's on the trailer. I've had the hydraulic hoses made up. Me and the boys were having a bit of a play around with it. We had it going up and down, no dramas, and we hooked up Toby's four-wheeler to it and lifted it up, and yeah, as high as a deck. But then it blew the seals in the ram. Now that ram had been sitting around for probably 6 years that I know of, just sitting on the shelf in the old fella's shed. It's never been moved. Like, it was half full of oil, so had oil in the cylinder, but wasn't covering all the seals on the piston. The seals are shrunk, and yeah, it was lifting, but as soon as I went to lower the four-wheeler on the, like, lower it back to the ground, I went down, but it's got a control valve, a flow valve on the downside of the piston to control how fast it drops. I had it wide open and it dropped pretty quick, so I let go of the button, and just that force was enough. Yeah, seals blew out. Yeah, so I've ordered a new cylinder. It hasn't arrived yet. I've express posted, but it's coming from Queensland, from I know Lance watches his channel. I ordered it out of his Queensland Tractor Repairs from Lance. Bundy Bear's Shed, you probably know him by. Just on his website, found the cylinder, the dimensions that I needed, and just ordered it. I need it, so hopefully that'll arrive soon. Now, I picked up a hydraulic press earlier last year, fairly early last year. It's a 15-ton bottle jack in it. I've picked up a 20-ton porta power from Vevor. I'm not going to cut the whole press apart and spend a couple $100 on material, and yeah, I want to just mount the porta power in there, make it work for now, and if the porta power holds up, then I'll modify it afterwards, modify the top of the press so it's adjustable one side to the other. I don't want to go and spend a heap of coin on it at the moment, and yeah, I just want to give that porta power a good run before I sort of commit to cutting the press up. Anyway, I'll show you what I got in the box, the porta power box. Funny enough, I ordered the 20-ton model, and they're not going to continue to do the 20-ton model. Apparently it's not a good seller. It's 6-ton, 10-ton and 12-ton are the most common. Now this is what we got in the box. Box came pretty much battered and bashed and belted up, which is understandable. So you get all your normal, your foot, your extensions, spreader, which do not exceed half a ton, cylinder, so it's a fair chunk of job. So that's what we're going to mount in the press. Hopefully it should be good, or well, we're hoping anyway. And you know, you got your normal piston, your normal pump should I say. Anyway, let's get the press out of the open so I can get to it. So this is the press I picked up early last year. Homemade by a local fella who used to be into earth moving. He had scrapers, all that sort of stuff. I'll bring the camera over, I'll show you what my plan is. I'll rip the jack out of it, I'll show you what my plan is, how I think I'm going to do it. Okay, up under here where that jack locates, it's a plate that's just held on with 2 small bolts. I am thinking I will take this off, put it in the 4-jaw and drill it, bore it and thread it to the cylinder size. It's got these corner struts on it, or braces. I'm going to have to cut a hole in the top here, which I'm not too sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I'm thinking with these corner braces it'll still be strong enough to find out if everything's going to work. And then later on when I get a bit of spare coin, I can cut all this top off and then get some big thick flat bar put across, build another one of these plates and have it so it can be slid from side to side. So I just want to mount it all up to make sure that porta power is going to be, or is going to hold up and do the job. I just had to trim a bit of that off. It's fitting the jaws here was just a fraction long and had that flame cut in on there as well. I just thought I'd just knock the end of both ends off and fit in the truck a bit safer too. Otherwise the jaws would have had to been out, yeah, right on borderline of being too far out. This plate's got a bit of a bow in it, so I'm going to face it off on both sides. So I am going to attempt to face this off using that Pelpit WNMG insert. Well, that cleaned up alright. You can see where the weld marks were, but that's bugger all. I might bore the hole in here now and thread it while it's set up on centre. Once that's done, I can flip it over, just face the other side off nice and neat, because it'll be registered square then. So we'll do that, that'll work. Okay, I've got to open this up to 70mm. So it's got to have a 72 by 2mm pitch thread in it. In theory, we should be 70.05. 70.04, close enough. Rightio, I've changed the change gears around. I'm set to cut a 2mm pitch thread. Blued the hole up. I've chamfered both edges of the hole too. Now I can't tilt the compound because of the width of this. If I tilt the compound, it's just going to clash. So I've never cut a thread with the tool post with the compound slide at 90 degrees, so this is going to be something new. Now it's worth giving it a go. Well, I sort of have screwed up here. What I should have done to start with is made a male thread as a test, you know, like a test slug, because I didn't think of the jaws being in there, that, you know, being closed in that far. I didn't even give that a thought. I'm thinking I should be right. It'll be terribly close. So I just want to take a couple more swipes and just hope for the best. Okay, this was a pretty good lesson learnt. What I've done off camera is I backed these two jaws off and test fitted it. It was too tight. I reckon I was just a touch out on the depth. Okay. Certainly not the fit I wanted, but I think I can save it. So that's all the way down. It's a bit loose, but I have got a bit of room to put a lock nut here, so I can lock the two up together. I'm going to make the nut. I'm going to use the same method as I've used to do the thread in that big plate. I've bored this out at 70.04, exactly the same as the last one. And I'm just going to see if I can do this one right and try and work out where I went wrong with the last one. There's only one way to learn. Sink your toes in to start gritting your teeth, I suppose. I'm going to get the cylinder and have a check. I reckon I'm getting very, very close. The thread is looking much better than before too. So I reckon I've worked out where I... Hey, look at that. What I reckon I done wrong last time is I advanced the compound a fraction much, and it narrowed up the tooth, or widened the thread. So I'm just going to leave that right alone. I'm going to take that out now and probably hold it in the 3-jaw and just narrow this nut up a fair bit. It's miles too wide. So I've worked out I can take 8mm off this nut, off this face. Okay, I've got the press upside down. I've got to put a hole for the cylinder to slide through there. I want to put it a round hole. I don't just want a hole hacked in there with a grinder. So I'm going to try something stupid, but it might just work. Well, there's the setup. It was a bit of a bastard to get up there, but it's going to work. Got a little bit of clearance there. Not a lot, but we got enough. Anyway, I'm going to open this hole up gradually, put the boring net up and open it up so I can fit that cylinder through quite easily. Well, we're nearly ready to put this together. That on there. I'll put an extension on there on the ram. As far as I can until it clashes. I'll put the pump on it, pump it up until this touches, and I can put a clamp on it, get it centralised obviously, get a clamp on it. If I want to, I can take the cylinder out and then put a tack of weld and actually weld this into place. Oh, there we are, just a couple of welds on each side, just throw a bit of blue paint on there. That's it for the day. Come back tomorrow and put the table and everything back in it, and mount the pump on the side. Okay, I've been stuffing around here this morning working out how to mount this pump on. That's what I come up with. It's a simple bracket that the handle will face downwards. So I've just tacked this plate on. I'll probably put another one down here somewhere just to hold the bottom of the foot, bottom of the pump. But that's because you've got to remember they're all going to cut all this off. If this thing works out the way I'm thinking, I'm probably going to cut all this off, so there's no good going to the extreme and going overboard with it and then cut it off after. So I'll get this welded on and then get the pump mounted and see how it looks. Okay, I've got them brackets on. Now I did screw up because that was when I said it was going to be on the top. Well, it has to be on the bottom. But anyway, and I did have it on the wrong side too. I've had to sort of hook in and get that knocked out because the video comes out this evening and I still haven't edited it. It'll do. So I've had to sort of just get it done. I know it was pretty simple, just putting a couple of brackets on so you didn't miss a lot. But just had to run the missus up the street, and while we're up there we just seen the Queen Elizabeth cruise ship in the bay, or docked up at the main wharf, so it was pretty cool to see. I'm going to get that ram back in, get the table back in, get the pump on and give it a crack, see if it's going to work or not. I've got to make up some proper push feet for this at some stage, and I'm just going to have to use the extensions until I modify the top and try and borrow a mag drill to put more holes in it up here so I can get it accurate and a bit easier than hanging onto a big electric drill, especially with my arms. Here's a piece of angle that I just started pushing just to see what had happened, and this piece here is welded on both, well, it's welded fully on the other side, so it may give out, I don't know. We'll just jack and see what happens. Yeah, 8mm angle. It's alright, eh? Holds pressure too, which is good. There you go. Well, that's just a good little job done and dusted out of the way. Overall, the way it bent that bit of angle, I think that Porta Power might be alright. They're not a big name brand thing, but I think it'll do the job for what I need here. So the cylinder has turned up for the old fella's crane. It's just arrived, so next week I'll have that in and done, and hopefully that'll be finished and buttoned up and out of the way, and I can move on to something completely different. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. It was a bit scattered like normal, but that's the way it is here. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.